finding numbers from percents. So in the first one, it says students in Miss D's class are asked to identify their favorite color from a bag of chocolate candies. The results are displayed in the graph below. If there are 75 students in all Mr. D's class combined, complete the table to show the number of students that chose each color. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do yellow. And what we're doing is we're going to take a percent and we're going to find the number of kids that actually chose yellow. Since we don't know the number of kids that chose yellow, you're going to have X over 75. 75 is the number of kids who were surveyed. That's your total. That's the reason why it goes on the bottom. So now over here, you're going to have 24% over 100%. The reason why you're doing that is because 24% of the class chose yellow out of a total of 100%. So now this will help you figure out how many kids actually chose yellow. So all you have to do is cross multiply. So 24 times 75 is 1,800. And you get 100x. And then you divide by 100 to both sides. Luckily, when you divide by 100, all you can do is just cross out the zeros. And you get 18. So 18 is your answer. So it means 18 kids chose yellow. So we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the colors. So now if you want to try it by yourself, I recommend doing that. Because that's what I did in class. So I want you to try by yourself to figure out what red is. So pause the video and figure that out. Okay, so on red, we're going to use the same type of proportion. We're going to do X over 75 is equal to, instead of 24, we're going to say 16% over 100. The reason why we do that is because 16% of them chose red. So again, you're going to cross multiply. You do 75 times 16, which is 1,200. And you get 100x. And again, just divide by 100. Cross it out, and you get 12. Pretty straightforward. So now, let's do brown. So brown's the same idea. You have X over 75 again. This time you're going to have 12% over 100. You're going to cross multiply. 12 times 75 is 900 equals 100x. Divide by 100 to both sides. Cross out your zeros. You get 9. Okay, so now let's do blue. Well, blue is the same idea. X over 75 is equal to, 20 over 100%. So you're going to do 20 times 75, which is 1,500, is equal to 100x. Divide by 100, and you get 15. Last one. So green, again, same proportion, X over 75, just change the percentage, which would be 28 over 100. So 28 times 75 is 2,100, which equals 100x. And you divide by 100 to both sides. Whoops. And you get 21. Okay, so that's number one. Let's do number two. Number two says Molly surveys the 7th grade students at her school to determine their favorite type of music. The bar graph displays the results. What percent of the students listen to each type of music? Round your answer to the nearest whole percent. Okay, well, to do this, you actually need to know how many kids were surveyed. So we know that rock is 45, rap is 35, pop is 40, country is 15. So you have to add them all up. And when you do that, you get 135 as your total, which is very important information. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the percentage for rock. Well, there's 45 people who chose rock out of a total of 135. Since I want to find the percentage, I'm going to set X over 100%. The reason why 100% is on the bottom is because that's where the total goes. So now all you have to do is cross multiply. So you're going to do X times 135, which is just 135X. And then 45 times 100, which is 4,500. So now you divide by 135 to both sides, and you get X is equal to 33.33 repeating percent. So we're just going to say 33%. Okay, so what I want you to find the percentages for rap, pop, and country, using the same idea. So I want you to pause the video and try to set up your proportions and solve them. So the proportion we're going to use is going to be very similar, but the number that's going to change is this is going to be 35 over 135 is equal to X over 100%. So now all you do is cross multiply. So you get 135x is equal to 3,500. So then you divide by 135. And you get x is equal to 25.9, which rounds up to 26. Okay, now let's find the percentage for pop. So we're going to do the same thing. Pop is just 135 is equal to x over 100%. So you do the same thing. You're going to 135x is equal to 4,000. And you divide by 135. And when you do that, you get x is equal to 29.6, which I'm going to say is about 30%. So the reason why I paused is because I want you to understand rock was 45 and pop was 40. So it means that those percentages would be relatively close. Well, we know that it couldn't be 33% because that's what rock was. So it had to be a little bit lower than that. So it had to be about 30%. So just use your power of elimination to help you answer these questions. Okay, country. So country here is the smallest one with only 15 people out of a total of 135. So we know it can't be 30. It can't be 33. It can't be 30. We also know 26 is too big because that's what rap is. So we know it has to be 11%. So let's just prove that. So again, use the power elimination to help you answer these questions. So you get x over 100%. So you get 135x is equal to 1,500. And then you divide by 135. And you get x is equal to 11.11, repeating, percentage, which is just 11%. Okay, we're going to skip number 3 because I want to move on to the back to number 1. So on the back of number 1, it says, Miss V assigned her students a book report about the most recent novel discussed in class. The following dot plot displays the number of pages written in the students in her first period class. What percent of Miss V's class wrote a 4-page book report? So we're looking at these kids who wrote a 4-page book report. There's 6 of them. But the one thing we don't know is how many kids are actually in her class. So you have to add them up. So there's 2, 4, 4, 6, 2. So a total of 18 kids were in the class. And out of those 18 kids, 6 of them wrote a 4-page book report. So now we have the same idea. Since you're trying to find a percentage, you do x over 100%. So you get 18x is equal to 600. And you divide 600 by 18, and you get 33.3% repeating, which is just say 33 and 1/3, or just 33%. Okay, this is the main idea. You're going to actually have about probably 4 to 6 problems on the START test, just over finding the percentage or finding the number from a percentage on your START test. So again, watch the video, set out your questions. Thank you guys.